Okay, and I'm here to cast a series of games between SY and NERVO. If you don't know who are those guys, SY is the top Chinese team, and its players are Mr. Yo, famous Chinese player playing here as yellow, SY Lyx playing as the color 5, CN, and SY Gigo or Vivi playing here as color 1. In the opposite team, the team Nervo, we have Nicov, famous Argentinian player, Argentinian but good, Dogao, Brazilian transsexual player, and Miguel, the Brazilian priest. The other player from Nervo is Tato, the Spaniard. So this is their team, and they are playing here a series that was sponsored by SY Fengshi or Paladin. And the first game of this series is on Arabia. All those games are Pixies, and in the Chinese team, let's start the analysis. We have Vivi playing as the Aztecs, followed by Mr. Yo here on the Pocket playing as the Burmese. Strong civilization, strong elephant, freaking Arambai. And on the right side, we have SY Lyx, that's playing, guys, as the Mayans. So two Meso civilizations for the Chinese team, and luckily or not, the two Meso civilizations are playing as flanks, and Mr. Yo here with the Burmese is playing as the Pocket. On the opposite team, we have Miguel playing as the Berbers, so strong Nightline, Camel Archers, Janitors, a lot of really strong units for this civilization, and especially the Camel Archer that can counter pretty much everything in the game, man. Really amazing unit, the new Mango Dian. On the Pocket position, we have Dogao playing as the Malians, so offensive civilization for Dogao. The Malians great economically, and I believe that Dogao might go for the Scoutsman because I already see that he has only 3 villagers on the wood. That might be him trying to use the Malian wood bonus, or maybe doing a scout build order. We'll have to wait a bit to see. And the last player here, who just lost a villager, fucking Argentina, is Nicov, who's playing here as the Burmese. To be honest, to be losing villagers here, the game was either lag or he probably didn't plan well this board gathering, so maybe he's a bit rust. Anyway, let's try to make a few analyses. Miguel is already making farms, so he's probably going for feudal army and not a drush. He cannot see his third boar, or he didn't want to take it yet. Probably didn't see. Enemy here, Vivi, is already going forward and trying to make a barracks. Mr. Yo just exploring, going for a really far lumber camp. He did a mill start, huh? Different situation here to see a mill start from Mr. Yo. Going for a far lumber camp. His map's not so good to defend, so if he needs to defend, he will be on a bad position. And guys, as I just said, Dogao, because of that lumber camp that I saw, is going for the scouts. So scouts for Dogao, and he is probably going to aggressive a lot in this game. He's sending a villager forward, probably to make a barracks. Yep, a barracks here. And he's upping, guys, with pop 20, abusing of the Malians economy, really going for a fast up. And the other side here, we have Nicov from the NERVO team, who is making a barracks and a mining camp. So since he doesn't have a lot of villagers on the wood, this is probably a man-at-arms up build order. And men-at-arms are great because the Burmese one have an extra attack, and he can counter the drush if he do more men-at-arm. Just making a palisade wall to protect his villagers on the gold, making palisade walls for the villagers on the wood, finishing the palisade walls, making the militia inside his base. Miguel here is going now for the archers, and he probably doesn't know, but Vivi is coming for him with at least 4 militias that will become men-at-arms and 5 villagers forward. So Man at Arm and Towers build order for Vivi against Miguel, who's probably going to try archers, analyzing the amount of villagers he has on gold. Dogao already scouting Mr. Yu, he might try to take some advantage here. It seems that Dogao just killed the villager. I missed that, guys, sorry. A lot of things happening. Team games are harder to cast. Mr. Yu here, walling his wood villagers in the 2 lumber camps. Nicov able to repel the rush with his man-at-arms and now already adding an archery range, so man-at-arm and archers for Nicov. I don't know what strategy for Lyx for now. He's adding a second barrack, so well, this is probably going to be Eagle Warriors, Feudal Eagles. That's his strategy. On the other side, Vivi is already pushing Miguel with his man-at-arms and starting to make towers. Miguel just lost his food source now. Vivi is going to make a tower there, but Miguel is making a defensive tower. Man, that's a crappy defensive tower. Vivi will just ignore this and take out his wood. Ooh, Miguel, that was a bad call, man. You should have waited a bit more. That's the problem with going archers, guys. As I said in the Man-at-Arms and Towers build order, it's really hard to follow because you're gonna have armies so much later. Now that Miguel already lost his food and is about to lose his wood, he just made his first archer, so he has 0 chance of defending. His economy is going to be really below his enemy, Vivi, who's performing a really well balanced build order here. Mr. Yu getting stone and gold and wood. All his resources have palisades. So what he's trying to do here, guys, is to go for the Iron buys. He wants to do a fast castle with the castle drop to make Iron buy. His economy was severely hurted by the scouts, so he's using the market to buy food and go up. He's selling a lot. Lyx knows that he might get doubled or raided, so he's making tower here to defend his gold, walling the rest of his map and already adding a blacksmith. I don't think that Nicov can kill him here with these archers because the eagles, man, they are really strong. And Nicov would need to have more men-at-arms here protecting his archers. Look at this. But this men-at-arm here is enough to stop these 2 eagles for now. Unfortunately, I don't see how Nicov is going to make damage into Lyx since he's walled. And in the other side of the map, guys, Miguel is suffering a lot. He only has 3 farmers. He's getting behind on the villager count. He has idle villagers. He's having to make another lumber camp. He lost 2 lumber camps. That's one thing that I like to say in my build orders. If you have 2 woods, try to make the lumber camps in different woods. So if you lose one of your woods to a tower, you won't be suffering that much. That's exactly what's happening to Miguel here. And his archers are now trying to defend Dogao, but he's going to miss the men-at-arms that are going straight for Dogao's wood. Dogao's about to go up. I don't know what he's going to do. Probably knights. That's his best option. But man, once Yo starts making the iron buy, there's no chance Melee and Dogao can stop it. Maybe if he has a lot of camels and monks, he can repel, but the iron buy can kill any attack with melee armor, man. So this is not good for the NERVO team. Dogao adding a second stable, losing now a villager to the man-at-arms of Vivi. Man, look at this. This strategy is really strong, the man-at-arms and towers. I recall doing this a lot in the Nations Cup and it really works. Now that Miguel has a good number of archers, man, Vivi is already protecting himself in his base. He walled a few resources, he's making the tower. The only damage that he got was losing like 3 villagers, 2 stone miners, and now maybe he's gonna lose 1 more here to Dogao. So he lost 4 villagers. This was not good for Vivi, but mostly because he was attacked by Dogao's scouts. Now the NERVO team can count on their wings, guys, the Burmese Nicov and the Berber Miguel, to stop the iron buys from Mr. Yu. Mr. Yu is already adding a barracks, probably going for a stable, and his economy is going to be fine. Now that he's making the castle, he can make TCs on his economy, he can protect himself, and he is going to be just fine. Miguel and Nicov is adding another tower here, maybe? Nope, he deleted. I'm not sure if Lyx will keep the eagles or if he's going for plummets. What I know for sure is that Nicov now, adding more and more archers, going to make a forward tower. It seems to me that he's going to the stone because he wants to go for the Iron By. And guys, this game just dropped. I know they restored because the game there has a part 2, and that's where we are going to. Part 2 of first game between SY and NERVO. So guys, Dogao just hit Castle Age. He's making more TCs here with the million economy, which is really a great one. His villager count is the same as Mr. Yo. He has even one less villager because he lost it to Vivi. And Miguel here is hurting Vivi, man. He's trying to defend with eagles, but the problem with the feudal eagles is that they can be outmassed because they take a long time to be created. So he's suffering a bit. Nicov here defending without any problem, making now a market. He'll probably go up soon. But Mr. Yo, guys, is adding his second TC. Now he has a safe gold, and he already has like 5 bloodlined Iron Buys. Dogao just lost all his scouts, and man, I don't know who is going to stop those Iron Buy. The only unit that can stop the Iron Buys are the ranged ones, more specifically the crossbows and the skirmishers. Monks maybe, but they can be easily outrun and outnumbered, so I would go for the crossbows and the archers. Problem is, look at the amount of Iron Buys. 7 Iron Buys, man. 6 archers with no armor won't stop this. Let's see if the archers are going to kill at least 1 Iron Buy here. Mr. Yo is coming. He has the carto, guys, of course. Everyone who has the market now has the free cartography, so this will help him a lot to help his allies. Mr. Lyx is going to castle, Nicov is going to castle as well, and Nicov is also going for the Iron Buy since he has a lot of guys on the stone, and that's a wise decision because he can kill the eagles from Lyx. Dogao is complaining about VPN, so this game is probably laggy, and that's what NERVO team is calling out here. Miguel trying to lose his 3rd wood. Oh, come on, Miguel, don't do this, man. I know you're better than this. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's not a good play for Miguel because he's going to lose his other wood to Vivi. This is gonna suck so much. He knows he fucked it up. He's running with his villagers to somewhere. He's just now going castle. Vivi is also really late, but he could do big damage to Miguel. It was nice. Mr. Yo now booming, adding his 3rd TC. Of course, he is far from the villager count of Dogao, but man, how can Dogao stop the Iron Buy? If the Iron Buy come to raid here, there's no stop for this. Nicov patrolling with his Burmese crossbows and starting to make Iron Buy, adding also a town center and a university, probably for the ballistics. And now I want to see how they are going to stop Mr. Yo. Miguel is the one the only one able to stop him because look at Dogao trying to stop him with knights, man. He has no chance. The best he can do is to make Mr. Yo run, but he just can kill all the knights if he wants. Oh, bold move by Mr. Yo, trying to kill the crossbows. Man, he's fighting 2 guys with the Iron Buy. Fucking strong unit, huh? He tried to kill and he get down the number of crossbows. Interesting. In the other side, Nicov is being pushed off by Lyx, who's also making now a castle, and he can go for fletching and plummet archers. But Dogao is here supporting with his knights. Nicov is advancing. They are probably trying to go for Mr. Yo, who's booming and has the best economy from the Chinese team. Lyx here going for the plummet archers will have a great counter for the Burmese Iron Buy. But man, look at the Miguel. The crossbows are supposedly to counter the Iron Buy, but Mr. Yo has big numbers, so crossbows and camels both trying to run after the Mr. Yo's Iron Buys. They are trying their best, but man, That's hard units to kill. And oh, and Mr. Yo just screw up on his micro and is losing his Aeron by. That was a bad move. He was probably trying to micro in another spot. Mr. Yo now has 2 castles spamming Aeron buys, and he is already on the way to Imperial. Guys, it's really easy to go for Imperial after you go Aeron buy because they doesn't cost food, which allows you to have a lot more food. Brazilian guys complaining once again about the lag, man. No doubt about the lag. The lag is real. Dogao and Nicov fighting here against Lyx, getting a good fight. They are having map control. Miguel here is starting to suffer a bit against the Eagles from Vivi. But Dogao is here to help, man. Dogao is doing a great game. He's helping both sides here with a lot of knights from the Malians. Nicov now will have problems because against the plummet archers, he won't be able to do a lot with Aeron buys. He will probably have to go for elephant or avoid fighting against Lyx. Miguel is on the TC, his villager count is really low. The eagles here, man, with this new armor, can work like elite eagles, so this is really bad, man. Really bad. And people are asking if I'm going to stream my POV. No, man, I'm not going to stream my POV. My computer cannot handle both gaming and streaming at high level. Mr. Yo going for Aeron buy, elite Aeron buy, going to make a 3rd castle. Man, I want to know how people are going to counter this. Fucking devilish unit. Dogao is going to the Imperial as well, going for a lot of camels, but man, he will need to outmatch the Aeron buys by really a lot if he wants to kill them. Nicov here doing his own Aeron buys, going for the Imperial as well, doing a good job, but man, I don't know how he's going to stop those plummet archers from Lyx. They are one of the best counters to the Aeron buy. Maybe he should need to add onagers or elephants, or ask for Dogao to help him, but he cannot stop him. He's stopping now because he has a lot of Aeron buy, but once Lyx starts making more and more Aeron buys and has extra range, that will be bad. Dogao only chance here is to use his numbers, and that's what he's doing, using his numbers to kill Mr. Yo, who's doing a really forward castle here. Dogao now going for the Cavalier, going for the Caravan, River Camel, setting up markets, making a castle here on his front stone. Miguel trying to outboom and survive Vivi, but man, the Berbers here were in a really bad position. That initial push totally killed off Miguel, and now he's suffering a lot against Vivi, who's dominating the map, doing a lot of stone walls here, which will grant him a good portion of map control and will be strategical for his team. Dogao searching the Farimba, so his camels are going to be really awesome in some time from now, and but he's losing a lot of camels to the Aeron buys, man. This is really a great formation to fight against Aeron buy. I think he should switch with Nicov. He should go to Lyx, and Nicov should be the one to counter the Aeron buy. Oh, but look at this weapon that Nicov is using. The Janitor. Man, why no one else is using Janitor? Dogao, man. You have the economy for the Janitor, maybe. The Janitor was the way to counter the first pushes of Aeron buy. Miguel going for the Rave Blow. But man, he's spending more time inside the his TC than anything else. This is not good. The crossbows cannot stop the eagles. They are good to helping against the Aeron buy, but those eagles, man, players can use them like they used the elite eagles before, so it's really hard to fight against the Aztecs. Nicov being pushed here, trying to use the Janitor. The plummet archers are doing the job. Dogao now to the help, but man, look at this massive pack of Aeron buy. I don't think those guys stand a chance against this much Aeron buys. But Dogao could at least kill a trebuchet, but right now, Mr. Yo outmassing the Aeron buys and giving those guys a real hard time. Lyx is starting to make pikemen, so he probably wants to go for plums and halps, which is a great combination, man. Capable of advancing well against the Burmese. Elephants are not on the table for Nicov, he doesn't have the economy for that. Dogao could stop this castle and is now full cameling, but man, those camels won't be able to stop these plumed archers that are right now Brazilian's worst enemy. On the other side, Vivi here is on going to the Imperial Age. He'll probably keep the eagles, he'll keep infantry, and Miguel is not safe. Miguel was not safe against the regular eagles. Now, against the elite ones, man, this won't be good for him. Mr. Yo might be having some gold issues because he's starting to make light camps here to support Lyx, but man, actually I do not think it's a shortage of gold. It's a personal choice for going for Russars to support the Iron Buy, like the Mongols used to do with Mango Dyes and Russars. Mr. Yo now, not giving up, coming for this castle, killing the camels, man. Look at this. He doesn't even try to return run. He just let the camels come. Look how strong is the Iron Buy. What the fuck, man. In the other side here, Brazil team is going to have a lot of trouble because where is Nikov's market? There is no market. They were trying to do it on Miguel's side, but they lost this side to Vivi. And now on the other side, we can see that Lyx is trying to wall, Lyx is trying to get it. He's having a great force to push. That's not good. Mr. Yo now starting the trade. So is Vivi, so is Lyx, so everyone's starting the trade. This is going to be bad for NERVO, guys, man. I do not see how Dogao can stop Mr. Yo because the Burmese Iron Buy are the best counter for this. I still think that they are doing a really big mistake here. If they just traded and Nicov faced off Mr. Yo, they could just annihilate each other and Dogao could even kill Lyx because his horses are the counter for the plumed archers. But anyway, maybe they are lacking a bit of teamwork. Vivi just doing his job here and advancing over Miguel, who's now on Imperial Age, but like 3 camel archers, he won't be able to stop anything with this. He's going to die before he can start to spamming it again. If Miguel was okay, man, with elite camel archers, he could just clean the middle, just raid the other guys. It was really sad that Vivi taking out of the game. This is giving the game to the others. Nicov trying his best here, massing janitors to support his Iron Buy, but he's losing all his castles. And there's no miracle, right? Miguel here with these crossbows is doing a great job to support Dogao, but man, it's not enough to take down the fucking Iron Buys of Mr. Yo. The eagles are eating Miguel before he can try to do the elite camel archer, so he won't be able to get back to the game. Trade going really good now for the Chinese team, who's not having to use it that much now that Mr. Yo has a mid shield, and so does Lyx, who's spamming runs, and this is the end of the Iron Buy, guys. Sorry. Nicov trying to go for the elite elephant, but man, maybe too late. This Mayan ship combo can take down whatever those guys tries, but look at this. Nicov was actually trying to recover from the trade position. Smart move, strategically thinking, but not possible here. And there's nothing that Nicov can do to counter those runs, man. Look at this. He's not countering the runs. Dogao is not countering the Iron Buys. Miguel's villagers are not countering the eagles. And this is probably the GG. NERVO guys is still trying, but man, I don't know how they can do it. Nicov is trying hard to hold, but there's a lot of plumed archers and runs here, and he's also now losing his houses, his stables, his archery range, so he's losing all his weapons. But he's killing the first few runs. And they call it GG. Yeah, Miguel really suffered. That's the problem of civilizations like the Berbers that have no economic bonus. Really standard gameplay won't is not that good against Aztecs, Mayans, civs with economic and army bonus. That's not good. And second game here, guys. On the second game, I can see that it's a Team Islands game, so let's hope for a lot of votes. And let's go also for the civilizations. The new mighty ones, the Italians, are being played here by Mr. Yo. His pocket is playing as the Vikings. Interesting, don't it? And it's played by Vivi. So Vivi is playing with the Vikings. The problem with the Vikings is that they do not have the fire ships, so the galleys are not good from the start. I believe that he's probably going to make a fast castle into the longboats, because the longboats have a bonus against the fire ships. And the third civilization is the Portuguese, played by Lyx. Interesting choice, huh? Portuguese. I didn't expect that, but let me take a look on the Portuguese bonus. Okay, so they have free cartography from Dark Age. This can help a lot in team games. They can have ships with 10% more HP. That's nice. 50% less gold. That's cheaper ships. And they can make a Feitoria. Not so useful here, but anyway, man. And they have a Castle Age technique named Karak that can increase the ship's armor. So, man, the Portuguese can do fine, but they ain't good as the Malay or the Italians in the beginning. So, enemy here, Dogao, Malay, going for fire galleys against Lyx. In the middle, we can see Miguel, who has a lot of fishy. And man, having a mill, 2 lumber camps, and only now going feudal, I can assume that Miguel is the one going for the longboats. So both Vikings going for longboats, and here in the opposite side, I can see Italians Nicov, who is making now a market, probably going up because he went for 2 docks on his back and a lot of fish. So abusing of the fish, we can see Nicov, who's still not going up. Mr. Yo is doing a good scouting job, trying to kill Miguel's fish, trying to find Nikov's. Lyx getting some trouble here against Dogao, but Dogao with the Malay and no villager advantage can only mean one thing. He fucked it up with his economy. The problem with the Malay is that they are not well known how to play by everyone yet, so I feel like Dogao should have went for more standard civ, and the Malay were not doing their job. He was supposed to have 2 more villagers, but instead he has the same number as Lyx and is also losing. So things are not good for Dogao. And here, guys, we can see that Gigo or Vivi just finished his fast castle and is going for galleys. Oh, I expected longboats, but Miguel is the one making longboats. And man, let me go a little slower here. See the power of the longboats. Miguel can go for read and run against the fire ships because the longboats are faster, and they also have a bonus now against the fire ships, so that's really interesting. The problem is that they need to be messed a bit, which is being a problem to Miguel. Ooh, and here comes Gigo. Vivi trying to kill Miguel. The galleons are a bit stronger than the longboats, so he might have an advantage in the beginning. But Miguel is doing great here, trying to micro. Oh my god! Demolition ships against Miguel. Miguel keeps written running. Where the fuck is Nicov? Booming, eh? Bravely booming here. Is Miguel booming as well? Yep, he is. What's Dogão doing? Oh, Dogão is not so well. But it seems that he was still being able to go fast to castle and can now take back the water. Where's Miguel with his longboats just messing? Mr. Yo going with a lot of fire ships to the back of the map, probably trying to get Nikov's attention. Nicov should add some demo ships, and that's what Nicov is doing. So, fair fight for Nicov. And the demo ships getting a lot of Yo's fire ships, and now the one pushing is Nicov. So this is looking good for NERVO team, except from the longboats of Miguel. The perfect combination here would be the longboats fighting against the fires, and the fires fighting against the galleons. Oh, now Dogao supporting Miguel, and they are getting back in the middle. They are going to be trapped by both Nicov and Miguel and Dogao. Still, they are trying to fight. Miguel patrolling, trying to kill the most fire ships he can. Dogao bringing demo ships. Ooh, a lot of kills. Nicov going on the back, but where is the rest of Nicov Armada? No more ships for Nicov. So right now military count is good for Miguel and Vivi, but as I said before, small advantage for Vivi on the HP of his units. That's not good for Miguel, huh? What about Lyx? Adding more DCs, trying to boom. Oh nope, he also landed knights, man. He tried to make a landing here. Dogao is defending, but is also losing a few villagers to the Portuguese Lyx. He tried to land with +2 knights, man, and he is even annoying Miguel a bit. Miguel 3 TC. Vivi only 2 TC for now. Miguel doing a great job with his longboats. Small, slightly military advantage for Vivi. Nicov is not being so active in this game, eh? I honestly doesn't like so much what I see from Nikov's perspective. As the Italian man, he's giving all the map counter to the enemies. He was the one supposed to get the map counter to go for the condos. So, it seems that Argentinians are bad at swimming, huh? Interesting. This can be helpful, really handy sometime. And people are asking, what are the NERVO team members? Well, the NERVO has 4 players. The 3 that are currently playing, Miguel, Dogao and Nicov, and the 4th one is Tato. So they have 4 strong players, and they were playing on HD tournament since last year, so kind of a new thing, but strong one. Ooh, and this is really bad. Miguel, who was pushing a lot in the sea, is now getting pushed back because Lyx is attacking his base with +2 knights, with archers, doing a lot of army here as the Portuguese, and is trying to annoy him. So, Dogao went to the sea, they are trying to push, but there's a big disadvantage because now Vivi is on the Imperial Age with his galleons, and he's pushing back against the other team. Nicov bringing here a lot of villagers. What is he going for? Oh, let me guess. Condos? Of course, the fucking condos. The uncounterable unit, Condottiero. Is he already doing it? He's starting. But Nicov, do not forget this is a team game. You should have been trying to help Miguel. Dogao trying to convert a few knights. Good conversions. Miguel made mangonels. Still, Lyx can still pushing those guys. Nicov and Miguel not being able to push against Vivi because Miguel is not on Imperial since he's being attacked, and Nicov is not focusing on water. Good attempts from defense from Mr. Yo, who's receiving a bit of stone from Vivi. Trying to make a castle here. If Nicov skill this, NERVO team still has a chance, but if Nicov loses, 0 chances. And guys, I won't be able to cast the 3rd game today. I will have to go there to get Lady Stark, so I will only cast these 2 games for today. And thanks for the follow, Patal AOC. Thanks, man. The problem here is that the Viking of this team is untouched, so he can pretty much stop anything that Miguel tries to do. You see? Big armada from Miguel, but useless because he is on castle. He got severely fucked by Lyx. Lyx is now attacking Nicov. Man, Lyx is really doing a lot of damage on the water. He fucked up with the life of Dogao here. Then he proceeded to fuck up with Miguel, and now he is attacking Nicov. And this is really bad, because Nicov is having to micro a lot against Mr. Yo. If you're attacking, man, you are having to use more micro than the one defending, and Mr. Yo is now being able to outmass the number of condotieros. Of course, being slinged by Lyx. Sorry, by Vivi. And I have yet another follower. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Warchat77. Dogao is trying to go back to the sea. Man, Dogao is really was the weak point of this game. I think I know what happened here. He tried to go for a fast build order, but the Malay are really hard for making those build orders, man. It's easier for you to fuck up, so he probably fucked it up against Lyx, who has no food or wood bonus that could help in his Dark Age. And by losing to Lyx, Lyx ended up having a good advantage, planning a landing. Lyx is now killing Nikov's base. Nikov is getting his rush repelled. Miguel trying to go back. Vivi totally dominating the water here in the front, dominating the back. Mr. Yo now landing barracks here to attack the other guys. Honestly, man, I cannot see the NERVO guys turning this game after this amount of advantage that the Chinese team got. So, sad news, but it's going to be 2-0 for SY if things keeps like this, man. And Vivi is slinging Mr. Yo to spend condotieros, and that's what he's doing against the others. Start everyone doing to defeat Stephanie Moa. Yep, man, it was me. I hope Dogao goes for Harbor Redock. Dogao here trying to help Miguel, but man, Miguel only now Imperial Age with condotieros raiding him, Nicov getting a lot of struggle to survive against Lyx, who's also making condotieros. Fuck this fucking unit. This shit is broken, man. People is not using this to counter hand cannoneers. This shit has become the new Hurskal. It's like if every civilization had a Hurskal who can also kill champions. So what the fuck is this, man? Miguel trying to help here with a few boats, not being able to. Vivi already on the back of those guys. Dogao trying to go back sea, but man, he won't be able to fight against a full Viking guy. Maybe the three together can pull up a fight here, but Mr. Yo is totally focusing on the condos, and I cannot see anyone besides Dogao stopping the condos. And Dogao is not going for the Karambit, so that's a big nope. Lyx is still raiding, now with both Cavaliers and Condos. I feel that like Nicov view count is dropping a lot and he won't be able to defend, especially because now he's dying also to Mr. Yo's Condotieros. That was a really good strategy for the Chinese team. And the biggest difference that I saw is that Miguel went for a front dock and the Italian Nicov on the back, and it was the opposite for the Chinese team, which totally makes sense. Man, the Italians have the fire galleys, they are good on the start, so what the fuck Nicov went back and Miguel front, man, this has 0 sense. They were not ever supposed to win the water. Another thing that I didn't like was the galleons from Gigo, because they wouldn't be so good against the fire ships, but they still work it. And that, guys, is the end of the game. That's bad. Malay are probably a civ with great potential for water, especially for their good uptime, their bonuses, the Karambit for ratings, but it's still not easy to dominate it. It's not really a regular civ. So this was 2-0 for SY against NERVO. And I'm stopping guys this stream for now. Let me just take a look on the achievements. Technology wise, Dogao was the first one to go to feudal, but it didn't get in the game. This was a good uptime, but probably not well followed on economy, hard to balance the melee.
Yes.
And the castaway, Nicov did a really strong fast castle, which ends up in nothing. He just fast castle to lose the water control, so villager high, good booming, but it simply doesn't work like this.